everyone, welcome back to Laser Pen Games. Today I'm going to be looking at the Boson and Diablo 2 XL Sigma, and let's just get right into it. Okay, so let's go to skills first. Definitely for the Amazon, you're only going to be able to pick one of the 5 trees anyway, and then you'll be able to put in neutral skills. So for the bow, I went with Sunstrike. It's basically like sort of like a multi-shot at range, and then Barrage is on my left skill. But I only maxed out Sunstrike and Dragon Lore. But basically, you can use any skill you want since they're all bad. That they don't matter. They all do. They all do shit damage. And it really sucks, but that's just the case. So I just like to use Sunstrike because I can fire it at a longer range from my target. As you can see here, it's level 55. It's not even adding 1,000 damage. It's pathetic. But the same thing goes for the other skills. They just suck. So sorry about that, but we'll see where we get the damage in a second here. So in the neutral, I end up maxing out Wild and Free, which gives you movement speed and hit recovery. I've got 1 fire elementals. I maxed out balance for more defense because it's the only damage mitigation you're going to get as a Boson. That is it. You get some defense, and that is all. No way. There's no blocking. There's no avoiding. Just nothing else going on. You might be able to get a little bit like I mean, you're gonna get resists obviously. You'll try to max out all your elemental resist and get a little bit of physical, but other than that, there's really not much going on. I left 1 in Ecstatic Frenzy. I just don't like using it. You'll see why. Because it just gives you 0 defense and everything hits you, and you already have enough problems only having armor. So you don't want to give that armor up. Even for that movement attack speed, you can get your movement speed up other ways, and so you get your attack speed up anyway. I put the rest of my extra points in Defensive Harmony so that when I do get hit by a melee or range attack, they're slowed 50% at the skill level I have, and then also gives you a chance for uninterruptible attacks, which I don't really see as a great thing going for a Boson, because when you get hit, like, you're getting stunned anyway because you're losing so much health. So doesn't really do much on that end. For war skills, I maxed out War Spirit. It's going to give you Crushing Blow and then a little bit of extra damage. I put 1 in Spellbind too, because if you feel like you want to run up and curse something, go for it. Basically just an extra point. And then this is actually your main skill. It's career, and this is where you're going to be getting all your damage. So you see here it's doing 28 to 38,000, which is just way more than any of your bow skills will ever do. Your bow skills are pretty shit. Like, they're really bad. And all your bow skills are cutting your actual weapon damage too for no reason. Like, this one's 85 and 60, 85, and I don't know, the 50% down there. It just doesn't add up. But that's your skills. And we're gonna take a look at the stats page here. So you're going to want to put enough into your strength to wear all your gear, and then I have too much dexterity right now because I didn't put the right orbs on some of my items. But you won't mess that up, so you're probably going to have less dexterity, and then the rest is all going to go into vitality, as much as you can get. I got 8.5k health, which is not that much, and you're going to need more. You just need more because dice to everything. So make sure you get that vitality up and keep the dexterity around a point where you're still hitting your targets 90-something% of the time. So that's it for stats. We're going to look at actual gear now. This is the bow I've been using and will recommend, but we'll take a look at the other two after. So Horn Hunter, it's going to give you 3 Amazon skills, which helps your poison, and then you get the Panther, which is the familiar, which adds 1 while it's out. You also get bonus 1 all skills, and so does your party. Get the Crushing Blow, but the main thing you're looking at here on the bow is the -2 enemy elemental resistances, which is going to hit their poison resist. So you're going to basically be trying to stack as much negative elemental resist or negative poison resist to your enemies as possible, so you can try to get to around 100. And if you go higher, it's fine, because it just helps with Uber bosses, which we're not going to be good at anyway. So actually, just go for 100. just try to get to 100 if you can. I didn't even make it so far because I haven't finished rolling on my gear. But that's the first bow. What you want to do is basically use your orbs to get as much bonus attack rating first as possible, so you don't need all that extra dexterity like I do. So basically, you're going to want to put jewels with attack speed and bonus attack rating, and then put the orbs first on it with get the attack rating first, and then you can put some attack speed or deadly, even if you want deadly strike from or crushing blow, doesn't really matter. Like, your deadly strike's not really going to do much, so if you want to actually add a few more crushing blow, go for it. And that's it for that bow. You can use a crafted bow if you want. You can probably make one that's almost as good as the Sacred Unique anyway. Just make sure you get the 5 skills and the higher enemy poison resist minus, and then you're pretty much set. I mean, that's what you're looking at. You're not really caring about the actual physical damage on the bow, because it doesn't even fucking matter. It's just terrible. Like, you have no moves that are adding physical damage, so don't worry about it. It's fucking awful. So, okay, now you're gonna look at. I haven't actually made the bow, but it's the God bow from Athalua, the 120 boss. So you're gonna get this. This is she's gonna drop this after you kill her, and then you'll be able to try to trade her. You're gonna have to trade, because you could spend a whole season and never see all the sigils that you need to make the bow. So unfortunately, I'm not really into using trade gold at all. I like to do in-game, and therefore getting that bow is just not really attainable in one season probably for me. But the bonus of that bow is that you can use basically Ecstatic Frenzy without getting the penalty, and then it's going to add a bunch of other elemental damage. So it is going to, because there's no skills on it though, you're going to lose a bunch of poison damage, and it's all going to basically balance out anyway. So you're just going to be able to kill some things faster because you're doing more impact damage, but overall you're just going to be doing the same amount to bosses anyway, and it's really not going to help that much. So I don't care about it. Basically, if you can trade for a cheap Horn Hunter, go for it. It's fun to have the Panther. That's what I say. Rest of my gear. Okay, so amulet. I wish I had some minus poison resist enemies on here, but I just went with the 4 skills, 25 attack speed, and the rest it doesn't really. I think I added some physical damage reduction, mana regenerate, and some defense. I got 2 Amazon skills and more attack speed, and then that's my quiver. The armor, you're gonna want to get a +2 skill, and then again just more poison. Just get that poison everywhere you can. That's why I was doing some testing myself, so I didn't end up finishing all my gear yet, but this one's okay. It just doesn't have the minus poison yet, so I would need to reroll new helmet. Rings, you're going to want to get them some 1-all skills and the minus poison resist if you can, to get to stack more of that. And then whatever extra life or stats you can come by also. These gloves again are not the poison yet. I haven't rolled new because I want to go for higher armor gauntlets. But these are still pretty decent. They ended up with the minus 10 enemy poison resist on them, and then 2 Amazon skills, which are other nice things. So they're not bad. With orbs too on your gear, you're mostly going to be adding more vitality and maybe some defense or character defense, and that's pretty much where you're going to be going with most of your even my belts, which you can easily use a crafted one instead. I'm using Ari Man right now, but again, you're probably just going to want the poison. This is not bad. I mean, it's at least, it adds a skill. That's why it was kind of a toss-up, because having the extra skill is nice also. So for me, it was like probably a wash, because you can't get Amazon skills on other belts anyway. You'll never get any skills with a crafted belt. So that's not bad. This is the only sacred unique that you're going to actually need. So I recommend getting Titan Steps boots no matter what, because they're going to provide all 4 damage types. You can see they're adding magic, fire, lightning, and cold. So then it doesn't matter which bow move you're using. You could even use like a bow move that you get on a crafted bow, like an item skill. So you'll be able to use item skills and then still have all your damage types added, because your dragon lore ability basically is adding plus damage to each element that's not poison, as long as you have that element already. So this will give you all 4, and it's just, and a little extra crushing blow too in life. It just works out perfectly. So these boots, you got to get them. The rest of the stuff can all be crafted or just rare, and it's not really a big deal to make the build work. For runes and jewels in the gear, you can see here, like I went with mostly attack speed. Unfortunately, there's no jewel you can make that's going to give minus resist. I think there might be some unique ones you can get, which are going to be harder to come by. Which is going to be a pain in your ass, but I guess mostly just getting life, attack speed, and bonus attack rating. Because if I end up replacing all these, which I should, with more attack speed and bonus AR, then I'll be able to crank my vitality even higher too. Right now, it's okay to put like the law runes, which are 3% more to all stats, in one of your lower strength requirements gear, because then it'll let you wear all your other gear without having to put more points in strength or dex. So it's not bad to do that. That's what I did with my Titan Steps and my my Demon Fist gloves, but you should not have law runes in your bow. That's just so stupid. We find out, we make mistakes, so we're finding out. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the problems with the build and the limitations, basically. So you're going to see here that it looks like I'm doing 39 to 56k, and that's just not true. Basically, it's just a lie. So you'll see, like, as I switch to the other bow, say it goes up to 66k, and you're like, well, how? You basically, all you did was add +1 all skills, right? It doesn't make any sense. Because what it's doing is it's actually taking into account the poison spell damage, and it's gonna mess up the number really badly. Just like my armor has another 42%, and I take it off, it goes into 41. So if I'm looking at my actual damage right now, it's probably more sitting around like 44,000 or something like that. But the actual poison spell damage is just lying to you. So it doesn't actually affect your damage. It just shows it on the page because it's a passive skill. It's not actually a spell. It's just adding passive poison damage to your weapon, and then therefore that's why getting something that adds like that extends the length of poison damage or poison damage skill or something also does not work. Just I've tried to look through it and just nothing actually affects your damage, and then you get some weird shit going on like this. So you'll see here that if you put on an item that actually has poison damage on it, so this one has 129 and 231, so I'm going to put it on. You'll see what happens. It goes up to 89,000, right? And then to put on a bow there, you're looking at 105k, when in reality you're still only doing the 44k. Like it's not actually changing. It's just it's just lying to you. And then I have the same thing with the ring here. So I have, and this is another weird thing that happens. So you have one thing on, one thing that adds poison damage, and it's going to crank it, right? And then you add a second one, and it brings it back down to what it was before. It's just such a, I don't know what's going on. Like if I just equip the ring here, it goes up again. So none of these numbers are correct. It's all bullshit. So just remember, you can probably unequip a lot of your gear. Just if you want to see your real number, you're gonna have to unequip a lot of your gear actually, and then just take into account how much the skills are adding, or just find another item that has the same amount of skills on it, and put that on instead if you want to see your real damage. So it's kind of frustrating that way, but it is what it is. Okay, so for other limitations, you can see like I messed up my quiver already, and I found like one of those rare mystic orbs, and it added 10 level requirements and 75 life on attack and 75 mana on attack. So life and mana on attack do not work on ranged characters. So that was just a complete waste. Don't do that. So don't worry about life or mana on hit because they don't work. You cannot, there's only one bow in the game that will give you knockback, so unfortunately it's not going to happen because the bow sucks. And what it says on the bow too is like I think you don't get the knockback anymore as soon as your dexterity goes over 1,000, and it just like turns off. Like it's just shit. And it sucks because you need knockback to defend yourself against all these super fast enemies. It just doesn't work. What else? Yeah, okay, so I think there's one bow that adds slow on hit, which you're also not going to get because that bow is also trash. So that's just really sucks. All the ways that you used to be able to defend yourself as a bow's on in the regular game are just gone. So you can't slow or knock back targets anymore. You're just going to have to try and run away and shoot, basically. And it sucks when when they put you in really confined spaces with like unkillable enemies, like in the Uber bosses. It gets pretty frustrating pretty quickly. But that's just how it is. You're like life and mana leech do work. The percentage based ones, they just don't do very well. I tried, like you can see here, like this belt before had 17, and I was using it when I was leveling up. I had a bunch of other life leaf. It just doesn't do. It's like nerfed to shit, and it just doesn't do very much. It doesn't heal you up enough that something can just hit you and you'll not die. If you're just gonna have to like basically run and drink healing pots anyway. But basically this build is only gonna be good up to level 115 Ubers, and then you'll be able to clear a few of the 120 rifts or dungeons, but maybe most of them not so much. Like it's gonna be brutal. Like you're just gonna be constantly dying, and if there's a lockout, you're screwed. Like you're just not gonna get it done because you die so easily with this. I mean, you'll be able to fix your stats better than me and do a bit more damage and have more life too. So it'll probably be a bit better once you fix the build, but and get proper jewels and everything too. But I think that's it. I mean, let's go see what it looks like. I have the cows open here. So every time you're going out, you're going to put on your war... Oh yeah, I guess that's the other thing too, is the crushing blow that you have. It's going to work really well on mobs. Like, every mob you're going to be able to kill like pretty easily. But it doesn't work on bosses, so your crushing blow becomes nothing on bosses shit. And then the only other thing too is the poison damage. That's what I guess I need to talk about, is you can't stack it. You can't stack any poison damage. Doesn't matter how much you have, and you'll see like when I go into cows here, when I'm gonna shoot something, I'm gonna have to wait 3.4 seconds for all that poison damage to go through, which is really bad for trying to kill bosses, because the only damage you're actually doing on hit is like a few thousand from all your elements, and the rest you're waiting 3.4 seconds every time. Now the good thing is the poison can actually kill in the mod, whereas most of the time in the base Diablo 2 game, it would bring you down to like your enemy or yourself. When you get poisoned, it would bring you down to 1. But now poison can just kill. So you can just fire and like run around and just wait for him to die. it's okay for mob, but I mean mobs anyway, doesn't matter, because you're going to be able to fire crushing blows on them and drop their health quicker. So again, like, you're going to be able to do most of the content. It's just the really higher level stuff that you're gonna struggle with, and that's just how it goes. They made the bosons a bit weaker. So I'm gonna go into the blueprints, and you'll see that again, run speed is not really gonna matter here because he's got teleport. So I can get away from him here, but you'll see me firing and his health just really not moving that much. For something that says, you know, like 58k, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. You'll be able to eventually kill him. It's not that big of a deal, but it is a little bit frustrating, especially if you want to play Boson and until a later game. There's really not that much you can do. Just have fun with it. And if you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.